Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 5 of the Make Attain Nuts podcast. It's your boy Sam George on the ones and twos. Zach's over here with me. Zach, how you doing today?
Doing good, Sam. How you doing?
I'm doing very well after this weekend. I am doing so well after this weekend. Oh,
You know what? We'll get into that, but first, I want to give a quick congratulations to the Tampa Bay Rays and the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're just about to,
15 minutes away from starting the World Series.
God, what a time it would be to be a Tampa Bay fan right now.
Tampa Bay on a roll.
Bucks are 4-2. Lightning just won the Stanley Cup. Now you get the Rays in the World Series.
I think the Rays are gonna win.
Is that your prediction?
My hot take here is that, well, I guess it's not really hot, but since the Rays are the underdog, I think I'm picking, even though technically speaking, when we did our rankings or our picks back in our first or second episode, I'm pretty sure I have the Dodgers winning.
I think you did.
But looking at everything, let's see here, episode 2, I'm going back and looking at my notes, MLB playoffs. The Dodgers beating the Yankees 4-2. The way the Dodgers have been playing, offensively, they've looked really good, but they've looked a little messy pitching-wise and defensively. And I think that the Rays pitching is lights out.
It is.
And they have a relatively good offense. I think the Rays are going to pull this through. I think big old Randy, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, is going to be the MVP. How do you say his last name?
Arozarena. Yeah, just think of it like
Dude's been on fire.
Think about it as like a rose, a rain,
a rain,
a Rosarena.
Randy Arozarena as your World Series MVP.
You see, I am also in the same boat. I think the Rays are going to win. I think they're going to win in 7, but I think my MVP will be Tyler Glasnow. I think he starts 2 games in this series and he wins them both.
Does Clayton Kershaw win his first game tonight? The curse of he's not like way off P bad, but like he's bad in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't particularly know. Who is the home team? I can't even remember.
The Dodgers, I think, because they had the better record.
Okay, yeah, because they didn't have like the.
I want to say the Dodgers had the best record in the MLB.
They did.
Okay, yeah. So I think it's the Dodgers because they didn't have the All-Star game.
I don't know. Who's starting for the Rays? Is it Glasnow?
Tonight's starters. I'm pulling up the game right now.
It is Glasnow.
It is Glasnow and Clayton Kershaw, and the Dodgers are the home team.
Yeah, I think the Rays pull this one out. I think Glasnow pitches a gem, just an absolute gem.
You said Glasnow is also your MVP?
He is also my MVP because like I said, I think this goes to 7 games, and I think he gets 2 starts, and he just dominates both of them.
It'll be an interesting series. I don't know much about the Rays. I've kind of been watching the Dodgers from afar. I don't know much about the Rays, but they look like they're built for sustainability, and they look like they can go the distance. I don't know if the Dodgers pitching staff can go the distance.
Yeah, they're just after Buehler and Kershaw, it's 2 up in the air.
Yeah. But yep, that is kind of my prediction for the MLB here, Zach. I know you have a little bit to talk about with college football this week.
Yeah.
Now, Zach and I are going to be doing a big college football special next week for the beginning of the Big Ten and kind of recapping that weekend. But Zach had his game this weekend, Alabama, Georgia. Mr. Lorai?
It's pretty much how the last 3 meetings with Alabama has gone. We played really well in the first half. It was looking good. Pretty questionable call at the end of the second quarter, if you ask me, with allowing Alabama that field goal. attempt.
Yeah,
but
it's kind of whack.
Anyway, as unbiased as I can be, the officiating was just atrocious. There were defensive pass interferences called on Georgia's secondary that were not called on Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, I mean, we got outplayed in the second half, no doubt, but there were some key plays that could have turned the game around and kept us in it. Stetson Bennett folded. He kind of folded.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The quarterback play was, I think Mac Jones played very well.
He did.
And I don't think Stetson Bennett played nearly to the level that he needed to be in order to beat Alabama.
No, he did not. He looked like the Stetson Bennett that played a drive against LSU in the SEC championship game last year, and I just thought to myself, how in the hell is this guy on our team? But I saw some earlier today that Kirby is confident in him and he's sticking with him. So we will see. I want to say we're either on a bye or we have Kentucky this week.
Georgia?
Yeah, it's looking like we're on a bye.
Georgia is on a bye because their next game is not until Halloween.
Yeah, we play Kentucky next week. And then I believe it's Florida right after that. So
Alabama has Tennessee this week.
Hopefully Georgia, or hopefully Stetson Bennett, I should say, can have a bounce back game, and we'll go from there. But I wanted to go into the AP top 10 for the week 8. No surprise here. We have Clemson at number 1, Alabama at 2.
Those are the two where I think it's pretty locked in.
It's pretty obvious right now.
Yeah, pretty locked in right now. Number 3, just Zach and I both have the same opinion on this. We both think Notre Dame should never be allowed in the top 5 ever. However, we do think they're a good football team. They're just never able to play with the big dogs.
Well, you might think they're a good football team. I think they're always highly overrated.
I think they're a good football team, but I don't think they're like top 5. They're always put in the top 5, and they always play horribly.
Yeah, I mean, they've got... I'm going to look this up to see when they have... They have Clemson on November 7th, 7 p.m., primetime NBC. I think that's when they get exposed.
That's tough. That's tough. Yeah, and it's different this year because, as I learned about 2 minutes before the podcast began, Notre Dame has to play in the ACC this year, and in order to be able to play because of all the COVID rules and everything. I don't know, and they're in Clemson's bracket of their Clemson's side of the ACC. I don't know if they can come out alive.
No, yeah, their only shot of making the college football playoffs is if they somehow beat Clemson, and then
which they won't.
I would say beat them again. Or no, they wouldn't have to beat them again. They would have to win. They have to win the ACC to get in.
Who would they have to beat? Wait, what's the other side of the ACC?
I want to say, I'll look that up real quick. If you have any more, if you want to go through the.
Oh yeah, I'll continue to go through it. So Notre Dame at 3, Georgia falls from they were at 3 to number 4, which is fine. Ohio State game this week against Nebraska, their first game of the season. Justin Fields, a clear, even though he hasn't played a single game yet, is going to be up there for the Heisman this year. Probably a top 5, top 10 pick in the draft this year, depending on how much teams need quarterbacks. But I think there's plenty of teams right now that need quarterbacks. We've got Oklahoma State at 6, Texas A&M at 7, Penn State at 8, my dogs, the Cincinnati Bearcats at 9, and then Florida at 10. Now, UC this week, Cincinnati, we play SMU this week. SMU is ranked 16. This is going to be our real first big challenge of the season. Earlier in the season, we played Army, who was ranked 22 at the time, but I don't think they're really ranked anymore.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, that doesn't count. SMU's 16, so they're they're 5-0. UC is 3-0. It'll be. See, I don't know. If we win this game, I think we definitely deserve top 10 from here on out. But I'm kind of in the position right now where I think UC should probably be outside the top 10. Their offense has just never been. Desmond Ritter's not that great of a quarterback. He's been there when we need him to be, but for the most part, I'm looking at his 3 games, 143 passing yards against USF. He had 258, 2 touchdowns and an interception against Army. And then the game where we blew out Austin Peay, he only had 196 passing yards. We've been relying a lot on our run game, and I don't know if that's going to be able to cut it through the season. I'm happy that UC football is relevant because usually it's not. It hasn't been for I think starting 2 years ago it became relevant, and now they're really becoming relevant to the point where they're in the top 10 right now. And I couldn't be happier as a UC fan, as a UC student. I couldn't be happier, but I am much more happy to see Ohio State play this week because I've been a lifelong Ohio State fan. Ohio State and UC just in general, it's good. I can kind of fall back on Ohio State as my crutch team because I go to UC. I have to lead them as my team. But I can fall back on Ohio State at any time because it's my state. It's the team I rooted for growing up. It'll always be my team. I'm wearing my Ohio State shorts right now. But yeah, I am very excited that I've got 2 of my teams in the top 10. Zach, I mean, do you have more than one team in college football?
I do not.
You do not? It's just Georgia?
Yeah.
I guess Dayton plays. Do they play D1?
No, God, no. They're in the Patriot League. Dayton football is irrelevant here.
You know what? I'll still take it. It's football. Football is football.
Yeah, but I've been to one game in the 3 years now that I've been here.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of UC football games. Very fun. ACC update? We were able to figure that out?
I could not find a place where it broke them into the 2 divisions. It just gave me the full ACC standings. But anyway, I believe it would be Miami. I believe.
Yeah, I can't find. It's the Atlantic and the Coastal divisions.
Yeah. I believe it would be Miami or North Carolina. I think those are the 2 big teams on that side.
Okay. Well, either way, it doesn't matter because Notre Dame's not going to make it that far.
Yeah.
They're going to crumble against Clemson.
Okay, Sam.
We will dive more into college football next week. We're going to probably have 45 minutes to an hour on college football next week. A lot more to talk about. But Zach,
it's time for you. It's time.
Oh, what a game it was Sunday. What a game it was as the Pittsburgh Steelers trotted onto the field and they roughed them up. They beat them up. They took Baker Mayfield out of the game. They took Myles Garrett out of the game. They put Mason Rudolph on the field at the end of the game because, boy, it was a blowout. It was embarrassing if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, and boy, does it look good if you're a Steelers fan. Now, to me, it's more or less just another win in the AFC North because in all the craziness and the chaos that has been the year 2020, some things just never change. And I don't think this will ever change. The Cleveland Browns will never come into Pittsburgh and win a game. And that's just, I think, proven fact here. The year that the Browns look their best, they've been clicking on all cylinders, running for 300 yards against okay defenses. They come up against a brick wall in the Steelers' front seven. R.I.P. Devin Bush. My boy, recover quickly. But coming up against a brick wall, holding Kareem Hunt to 40 rushing yards. Baker Mayfield throwing the ball left and right, trying to take advantage of that weak Steelers set. Oh, wait, they're not weak anymore. Minkah Fitzpatrick finally showed up, got a pick six, and then Hilton out in the defense, getting another interception. The Steelers looked so good. They looked so good against a team that people were saying was good. So I think that counts for us as a good win. Zach, would you say, is it a good win for us? Is it a good win?
Congratulations on beating your first team that did not have a losing record.
Beating a team with a winning record.
I'll give you that.
Oh my goodness, Zach. I am so excited for this Steelers team. They look so... Everything just seems to be clicking the right way. Their offense is clicking very nicely. Much better than I thought our offense was going to be maybe bottom half of the league. Like, okay. And we were just going to get dragged along by our defense. But our offense looks good. Big Ben's only got one interception on the year. Only one.
I mean, when you throw the ball 22 times in a game, it's not super hard not to throw an interception.
I mean, it's not super hard. But at the same time, Big Ben, hold on, I don't have this pulled up yet, so it's going to take me a second. But going back and looking at like 2 years ago when Ben was playing, he had like 7 interceptions. He led the league with like 50,000 interceptions a couple years ago.
Yeah, but he also led the league in passing yards that year, did he not?
Hold on. 2018. In the year 2018.
At one point,
Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Did he not lead the league in passing yards?
16 interceptions. It was that year. That year he had 5,000 passing yards.
It's because they were throwing the ball a lot. They're not.
But here. We don't count last year obviously because he was injured. 2018, 17, 16 and 15. Big Ben's interception numbers. 16, 14, 13, 16, 9. Big Ben having one interception through 5 games, I guess, yeah, technically it's 5 games because they're bye week, through 5 games is remarkable. That is something that I need to keep seeing from Ben, is just consistency. Chase Claypool looks like a dog out there right now, and it is a big mismatch for any defense right now because he's a big dude. Chase Claypool, they call him Mapletron because he looks and plays like Calvin Johnson, but he's from Canada. Oh my gosh. If I keep getting ads, can ads not automatically play on ESPN, please? Because oh my gosh, I'm listening to a military commercial. Okay, stop. Okay. Chase Claypool, they call him Mapletron because he's the Canadian Calvin Johnson. He's 6'4", 283. The dude has, I can't find his wingspan, but a massive wingspan. He almost stretched 2 yards to get a touchdown. A full 2 yards with his arm. It was ridiculous. It was like an inch off. Juju Smith-Schuster is a dangerous weapon if he's left open. They were targeting James Washington a lot. Ray McLeod has been okay. But the one person I want to talk about that nobody's really talking about because he's for a while was overrated, but now I think he's underrated again, and that's James Conner. James Conner looks very good. And not a lot of people are going to agree with me. I don't think many people agree with me at all.
Those people.
Yeah, I know you're one of those people. James Conner, he's very underrated now. People will be like, oh, he's way overrated. He's not nearly as good as people say he is. I don't think people give him enough credit. Yeah, he's not putting up all these huge numbers, but he is pounding the ball through the line for first downs when we need him to. He is the guy. I trust him again. I didn't trust him last year. I trust James Conner again. And that is a lot. if James Conner can keep being a guy that we can rely on to hand the ball off to get first downs consistently, busting through for 5 or 6 yards, it's going to be a tough time to beat the Steelers. If that offense is clicking and that defense is clicking, again, RIP Devin Bush, heal up soon, buddy. But Spillane came in and was looking fantastic, so I'm going to give credit to Spillane. But yeah, that was kind of my segment on the Steelers. Zach, you want to talk about the Browns real quick?
Yeah, I just had a couple things I wanted to mention. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I did not get to watch the game. I spent the weekend in Columbus with my girlfriend. Shout out to her.
Cute. Cute shit.
Anyway, I maybe caught like one or two plays. We were at the Polaris Mall, and we walked into, I think it was Lids, and they had the game on. I caught like one or two plays. Nothing that like was exciting by either team.
Okay.
But what I wanted to say was, Browns fans, I don't think you have to worry. I don't think you have to worry yet. Good teams get beat bad by other good teams a lot in this league. And my prime example is the Buccaneers ass whooping on the Packers, 38-10.
That is a fair point. The Packers got fucking embarrassed.
And I mean, Aaron Rodgers, first ballot Hall of Famer, threw for like 160 yards, 2 interceptions, one also being a pick six.
Zach, but I also just really want to stop you before you get too far in comparing the Browns to the Packers.
I'm not comparing.
And comparing Baker Mayfield to Aaron Rodgers. I want to stop you before you do. I want to stop you before you accidentally compare Baker Mayfield to Aaron Rodgers.
If you would let me talk.
Okay.
Sir, we need our moderator back.
I tried to stop him. I just want everybody to know I tried to stop him in case he does.
All I am saying is that there will be weeks where teams don't show up to play, and where the other team was very prepared to play, and that happened twice this past week with the Buccaneers and the Packers and the Steelers and the Browns. I think when Pittsburgh comes to Cleveland, it will be a very different game. You can disagree with me if you want, but I believe Chubb will be back.
It'll be week 17, so it may not even matter.
It'll matter.
It might matter, depending on, I guess it really just depends on how in the race for the 1 seed we are, or if we are in it at all. Because obviously, if we're in some sort of position like that, we're gonna play all of our players so we can try to get that position. But if we're not, like, even close to being a 1 seed, and we're just playing because we have to get ready before the playoffs, then I don't think we'll play any of our players.
Anyway, you'll have Chubb.
So it could be a throwaway game.
They'll have Chubb back, and I believe it will be a lot harder to stop both Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Can only have one of them on the field at a time, buddy.
That is true. But
we have proven to be very good at stopping runs.
Okay, well, you've been proven to be very good at stopping the Browns' second string and primary receiving back. So
okay, dog, don't act like Kareem Hunt couldn't be a starting running back on like half of the league's teams.
He could, but
he could be a starting running back on our team.
He could, but he's not on the Browns because Nick Chubb is better. Is what I am saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, Browns fans, don't worry just yet. Now, if you lose to the Bengals, then the season's over. Might as well tank for Trevor Lawrence and get rid of Baker.
Is it in Cincinnati?
It is in Cincinnati.
Oh.
But yeah, that's all I had on them. I wanted to.
I would like to say, I apologize I texted Emilio today, and I said, want to bet $500 that he blames the Browns' loss on the Browns being injured? And you didn't.
Oh.
You didn't. So I owe Emilio $500. But
Baker
every Browns fan
wrapped up though.
every Browns fan that I talked to this week was like, "Oh, we were so injured. Oh, injuries." No, shut up. You had Nick Chubb is out. Yeah, he's injured. Okay. Baker Mayfield said, I'll play. Mama didn't raise no wuss. And he got played. He got beat the F up. He got beat up. Beat up. Mama did raise a wuss because they took him out of the game.
I don't know why you're yelling at me. I didn't say anything.
I'm yelling at all the Browns fans out there that blamed it on injury. I'm talking to you, Fred.
America's team took a loss this week, but we'll bounce back.
But you know who didn't take a loss this week and gained a new starter?
The Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins. Zach, how are you feeling about Tua?
Let me tell you, I was shocked. I honestly thought it was Barry McCockiner playing a joke on Twitter.
I did. I checked to make sure it wasn't.
I saw it multiple times, and I was like I saw most of the Dolphins players. They were shocked that Flores had named him the starter, but they were also excited because, from what I'm told, there's a lot of love in that locker room for both Fitzmagic and Tua.
I think genuinely the Dolphins have one of the best locker rooms in the NFL.
I think they do.
I really do. I think their team chemistry and Brian Flores, just their whole team, just gets along very well.
Brian Flores and Chris Greer, our head coach and general manager, are the best thing that has happened to our franchise since I've been alive.
Doc, remember when you had Adam Gase?
We're not even going to talk about it. We just beat Adam Gase 24-0. So,
oh my goodness! But yeah, how are you feeling about Tua starting? I guess you have a bye this week, and then you've got Tua starting his first game against Aaron Donald.
And don't forget about Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey. Forgot about him.
I mean, as much as you as a Steelers fan hate him from his days in Jacksonville, he's definitely a top 5, if not top 3 corner in the league.
He's also the best actor in the MLB. In the NFL.
There's just, I mean, but there's no getting around. There's no getting around it, unfortunately. Yeah. But I'm excited. Don't get me wrong. I was like I said, I think I was just shocked at the timing.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
I also understand it because I had a conversation with my dad today because I broke the news to him because he's not on Twitter.
What was his reaction?
His genuine first text was, "What the fuck?" Oh.
I mean, that was kind of your thing too. You just saw it, but you were like, this doesn't make any sense because you guys are on a 2-game win streak, 3-game win streak. 2-game win streak. But you obviously you beat the Jets, and it's the Jets. But you beat the 49ers, who beat the Rams last week. So again, trying to use transitive property, Emilio. But
I mean, I was just shocked because Fitzpatrick had been playing well. I'm going to pull up his games here. His first game of the year was rough. Only threw for 191 yards, and he had 3 interceptions.
That was tough.
Then he came back against the Bills, and he threw for 328 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Hey, y'all almost beat the Bills.
And no interceptions. Week 3 against Jacksonville, he was 18 for 20 for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. Seattle, he played really well. He had that. He didn't have any touchdown passes, and he had that. Those 2 costly interceptions, but he threw for 315 yards and ran for a touchdown.
Yeah, is he still the Dolphins' leading rusher?
I actually believe that might be Myles Gaskin.
Gaskins has been playing really well.
It is Myles Gaskins. Yeah, he has been playing very well. He is the surprising number 1 running back in Miami.
Because y'all went out and got Jordan Howard and Matt Breida, right?
Yeah, Howard was an actor for the Jets, and Breida's just he's kind of like our, I don't even know how to describe him, but Gaskin is just our.
Is he definitely your number one back going forward?
He's been our consistent back. And then, but I just wanted to go into these last two games. I mean, he was 22 for 28 for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns against San Fran. And then this past week, he was he only threw for 191 yards and 3 touchdowns, but he also had 2 interceptions. But still, I mean, he won 24-0. That's not a bad game. And one of those interceptions was that butt interception that just didn't make any sense.
Oh yeah, that was wild.
But like I said earlier, I was having a conversation with my dad, and he made a point that this was probably the best time for them to put him in, because if they kept winning, like say they come out of the bye week and they keep winning, it's gonna make it that much harder to make a case to put Tua in.
Okay, so
I think what they're doing is we're going into a bye week, which is good. They're going to gives him 2 weeks.
He's going to get the starting team reps.
Yeah, that gives him 2 weeks to prepare for the Rams and see what we have. See if he's going to be our guy for the next 10 years, because that's, in my opinion, the one thing we've really been missing is that next guy. I mean, some, including me, thought it could be Tannehill, but I think he was kind of screwed over by having Adam Gase as his head coach.
Do you think Tannehill under Brian Flores would be the level that he is right now under Vrabel?
No, and only because we don't have Derrick Henry.
Fair point. Very fair point. But so first start against the Rams. How do you think Tua does against a pretty good defense?
You were talking to me last year. I think he gets killed with our offensive line, but this year, I am so happy with our offensive line. We went out, we got it's our center. Went out and signed Flower. I think he's currently our left guard. And then we had we went out and we drafted 3 within like the first 3 rounds.
Okay.
And all 3 of them have started. Like Austin Jackson was put on the IR with ankle injury. So they moved our right tackle, who is Jesse Davis, over to left tackle. And that right side is the 2 rookies, Solomon Kinley from O-Line U, the Georgia Bulldogs.
O-Line U.
Robert Hunt, who I can't even remember what college he went to because it was a small school, but they put him in at right tackle when Jackson went down, and he's been phenomenal these last 2 games. And
but let's be fair, you're going up against Aaron Donald.
I was
and all rookies.
It's an all rookie right side, yes. And like when I was talking to my dad, I said I think we just need to double Aaron Donald just almost every play, and if we get beat by somebody else, we get beat by somebody else. Because I don't really think there's anybody else on that Rams line that is as big of a threat as Aaron Donald is in like one-on-one.
Yeah, I can agree there.
Basically, I need to see Tua get hit for the first time, preferably not by Aaron Donald. But
did he? What were his stats this week? Did he do anything?
Tua or Aaron?
Tua.
I mean, he got in on the last. Like he threw like 2 passes. Okay. I think he was like 2 for 2. I can pull up the box score.
Okay.
He was 2 for 2 for 9 yards.
You know what? Not bad. 100%.
Hey, that's an 85.4 QB rating and a 95.0 QBR. So
hey, attaboy Tua.
First 2 passes completed in the NFL.
I just want to update real quick. Clayton Kershaw's throwing right now. He just looks bad.
He's throwing?
Yeah, like he's throwing the game. They're going to lose. They already have 2 men on with 1 out. Clayton Kershaw looks awful. He's going to lose another playoff game. All right, continue with the Dolphins.
Do you currently have the game on?
Yeah, I have the game on right now.
But yeah, I wanted to just take a quick look at the remaining schedule because this is a position that have not been familiar with in a while.
Second place in the division.
Second place in the division.
And I think you're within like a game and a half.
We're within a game, actually.
Well, no, because the Bills have the head-to-head against you.
Well, okay. Well, yeah, technically that. Anyway, so we coming off the bye. I know I talked about this with you earlier in the week. Coming off the bye, we have the Rams at home, and then the Cardinals in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking we need to win at least one of those games.
Those are tough games to win. Especially the way Buda Baker's playing right now, too.
I would preferably like to get the win against the Rams.
Yeah.
You never know what Cardinals you're going to get. You get
that is very true.
You can get the Cardinals that just put up 38 on Dallas, or the Cardinals that lost to the Lions. It's really up in the air.
Fair point.
One thing out of the Rams game is the Rams have to travel cross country after a Monday night game. To them, that's that Sunday. That Sunday at 1. So that'll be a little bit of an advantage, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I think coming out of those two games, at least 4-4.
Okay.
And then the next four games we have, I think, are very winnable.
Okay.
Chargers in New York, and the Bengals at home. I think we need to win at least 3 out of the 4 of those and go into our home stretch 7-5, because the last 4 games we played, the Chiefs in Miami, the Patriots in Miami, the Raiders in Oakland or Las Vegas, pardon me, and then the Bills in Buffalo.
That's tough, dude. The Bills are your last game?
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
At best,
you win 2 of those games.
Optimism in the world, I can see us going 9-7 and possibly squeezing into that 7th spot in the playoffs.
It'll be hard because there's a lot of good teams in the AFC, but it's not impossible.
Yeah. Well, we are currently only one.
You could do it in the NFC.
God, yeah.
Dude, do you guys want to just real quick? We can transfer you to the NFC East if you want.
I mean, I would love that because we'd be winning. We'd be leading the division.
That's the thing. I'm just so mad that a division could be so bad and then be like, yeah, we'll let them host a playoff game. No. What they should do, they should make they should let that wildcard team host a playoff game.
Honestly, I mean, it's an embarrassment that we let the NFC East exist. I think there needs to be like a cutoff, like a minimum of you have to win at least like 8 games.
You have to win half of your games to be a division winner.
I don't see any. I think that this division winner, whoever it is going to be like 7-9, and I fully believe that.
That's not impossible.
I fully impossible. Or, excuse me, 7-8-1 if it's the Eagles.
Oh, imagine a team with a tie winning a division.
It's just, oh my god. But anyway, yeah, as an optimistic fan, liking the direction our team's going in, let me talk about the defense real quick, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Last 2 games, I understand 49ers were a little depleted and the Jets are just the Jets. But our defense, just the scheme has been 10 times better. I've noticed that they've started putting more pressure on the quarterback, and that's when good things happen. I mean, we've got Emmanuel Agba, who's a great offseason pickup with 5 sacks this year. It's like tied for like 4th or 5th in the league right now. And then we've got Xavier Howard, who has been just the guy I've always loved. Tied with, I believe it's Kendall Fuller for the league lead in interceptions with 4, and he's had an interception in the past 4 games he's played. And with Byron Jones back, it makes all the difference in the world. I truly believe if we had Byron Jones against the Bills and the Seahawks, that we could have potentially won. Because both of those games, we gave up against the Bills, we gave up that late long touchdown to John Brown, which I think could have been prevented. And then in the Seahawks, we gave up a late first half touchdown that was ultimately the game-winning touchdown. So I'm excited to see where it goes. And you know what? If they end up just sucking again, as long as Tua plays well, I'll be happy, because then I know we'll have our guy, and then we'll go into the draft with 2 pretty high picks, barring that the Texans start winning a lot of games.
Yeah.
And we're there. We're a year off from being a serious
contender.
Yeah.
Do you think you're a year off from being a division contender, or you still think it'll be a wild card contender for a little bit?
I guess that really depends on the Bills, because
Josh Allen being a fake MVP.
I should have seen it coming. I bought into the hype all last year. I was not in on Josh Allen, and this year I fell for it. He got me this time.
Josh Allen crumbled.
He
looked good, but he has crumbled.
He got me.
You got. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go into our weekly segment of putting the NFL teams in the order of which we think they are the best. I don't like to call it a power rankings, because that's what everybody does. Everybody does a power rankings. We do a who we think is the best in the league rankings.
Yeah.
Not a power rankings. Definitely not power rankings.
As you may have seen in our Twitter bio, go check that out.
I have not seen our Twitter bio yet, so I don't know if this has been approved by me.
You literally made it.
Oh, did I make it?
Yeah. Nobody else does what we're doing right now.
Oh, yeah. Nobody does what we do here.
I mean,
nobody in the world does the type of stuff that we do.
This might be the first ever, honestly.
It's the first ever team ranking, other than the previous 4 weeks that we have done them.
Wait, no, this is just the first ever podcast where 2 guys just talk about sports.
Oh, yeah. And on occasion 3, but mostly 2.
Yeah, mostly 2.
We are the first podcast to ever do it. I hope you guys are enjoying it. We're slowly getting more listeners and more feedback, but I appreciate everybody who tunes in. But all right, Zach, your bottom 6, 7 teams, 32 to 26.
No surprise here. We're going 32 is the Jets. I mean,
seriously?
Can we even call them an NFL team at this point?
No. I think they should get relegated to college football, and we should bring up Clemson.
I think they should have to play an XFL team.
Play an XFL team?
And if they lose, then they get demoted, and that XFL team gets promoted.
What, just like the Premier League or whatever?
Yeah.
That's fair.
31. 31, hear me out. Still have the Giants.
Still have the Giants?
I still have the Giants at 31.
Okay.
30, this should not be a surprise, is the Washington football team.
Okay.
29, I've got the Jaguars.
Okay.
28, I've got the Bengals. 27, I have the Vikings. And 26, I have the Chargers.
Huh?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Okay. There's a team that is strikingly absent at the moment. That is on my list. So, yeah. Jets 32. A little bit different order. I have the football team at 31. I've got the Jaguars at 30. The Giants at 29. The Falcons at 28. The Bengals at 27. And the Broncos at 26. Zach has gone silent for me.
No, I'm here.
Oh, you're here. So you're just
I was
no
just
reaction
I was
to
just
my
listening.
no reaction.
I mean, I can see why you put all those teams there, but I can also it's very clear why you're wrong. That's just
Okay.
not in question.
Explain.
The Broncos just
Explain.
came off a big win.
A big win. Dog, they kicked
against the
6 field goals.
Patriots.
Dog, they
Against the
kicked 6
Patriots.
field goals, and they
I don't
almost lost
care.
that game.
What do you mean they almost lost that game? They held the Patriots to 12 points.
Yeah, I know. They won by 4, dude. They kicked 6 field goals, dude. They couldn't do anything offensively.
Did they win?
Yeah, they won, but they're not good. Don't act like they're good.
You have to play offense and defense to win games?
Yeah, but don't act like they're good.
Nope, you're done. You're done.
Don't even act like they're good,
you're
dude.
Done.
No, I moved the Broncos up 2 spots from last week. I moved them up. They won. Congrats, Broncos. Where are your Falcons at? Where are the Falcons at? If you have them anything above 23, I'm gonna slap you.
They're actually right at 23, I believe.
Dog, they won one game. I know it's the Dan Quinn effect.
What they did?
Yeah, but it was the Vikings, who aren't that good anyways.
That's why I have the Vikings so low.
I have the Vikings significantly higher because the Vikings are a pretty good team, but they're not great. But they're definitely better than the Falcons.
You just contradicted yourself, buddy.
They're definitely better than the Falcons, dog. You know it.
They just lost by 16 points to
dog. Them. I know, but they're better than the Falcons.
They're just not.
They are, though.
Anyway, moving on.
25 to 18.
25, I've got the Cowboys.
Okay.
24, I've got the Eagles.
Ooh.
23, I've got the Falcons. 22, I've got Detroit. 21, I've got Denver. 20, I've got the Texans. And 19, I have the 49ers.
Okay. Okay, a little different. 25, I have the Lions. 24, I have the Cowboys.
Okay.
23, I have the Texans. 22, I have the Vikings. 21, I have the Eagles. 20, I have the Chargers. 19, I have the Panthers. 18, I have the Browns.
Wow.
The Browns are awful. And nobody will convince me otherwise. The Browns dropped 11 spots from last week. I had them at number 7 going into this game, right behind the Steelers. The Browns are now at number 18.
That is the worst take I've ever just heard.
It is not a bad take because they looked so awful, and every team that I have above them could beat them.
All right, well then the Packers are just out of my top 10.
Dude, okay, stop comparing the Packers and the Browns.
Packers
Stop it.
Top 10.
Stop it.
Packers are out of my top 10.
Stop it.
Cardinals. I'm gonna switch the Cardinals and the Lions now. So
the Cardinals and the Lions?
Yeah, because the Lions beat them, so they're just automatically better.
Dog, stop. Stop.
That was blasphemous, and you know it. That was ridiculous.
It was not. The Browns looked like a youth football team compared to the Steelers.
Okay, then the Steelers just aren't that good then. As good as you. Let me just move them.
Just aren't that good? I said they look like a youth football team. We made them a team that everybody thought was like one of the best teams this year. We made them look like a youth football team.
Okay, well, having them at 18 behind some of these teams that you did not list is just wrong.
Okay, continue with yours. Continue with your 17 to 10.
You're just wrong.
Or 17 to 11.
Anyway, 17 I have the Panthers.
Okay.
16 I have the Patriots.
Okay.
15 I have the Dolphins.
Okay.
14 I have the Bears.
Huh?
13 I have the Raiders. 12 I have the Colts. 11. Wait.
Yeah.
Did I do that right? 18. No. Did I? No, I did that. I counted that wrong. Maybe. Were we starting on 18 or 17?
We're starting on 17.
Are you sure?
Yes.
No, we're not.
I just went 25 to 18.
25, 24, 23, 22, 23. Oh, okay. I went to 19.
Okay. All right, so start
18,
18 to 11.
So 18, I have the Panthers.
Okay.
17, I have the Patriots. 16, Dolphins. 15, Bears. 14, Raiders. 13, Colts. 12, Browns. 11, Cardinals.
Where do you have the Bears?
15.
That's disgraceful, man.
How is it
The
disgraceful?
Bears are legit.
They're
The Bears
not
are
legit.
legit.
Who
The
did they
Bears are
beat?
legit.
They
They are
beat the
5-1.
They
They
beat
are
the
at the
Panthers.
top of their division. They are
beat the
5-1. The Bears are legit. That is blasphemy.
If they beat the Packers, then I'll call them legit.
Okay. Watch them. Watch them do it.
Okay.
All right. I'll do my 18 as well again, just so you can hear it again, and so we're even. 18 is the Browns. 17 is the Patriots. 16. Wait a second. Where did you put the Browns?
12.
Okay. You're wrong, but okay. 18 Browns, 17 Patriots, 16 Dolphins, 15 Niners, 14 Colts, 13 Raiders, 12 Saints, 11 Bills.
Oh, wow.
Any gripes, sir? Argue with me. I dare you.
The Bills?
Bills have not. The Bills look defeated yesterday against the Chiefs, and they looked very bad against the Titans, which makes me think they just can't get it done against good teams. And for that, they drop out of the top 10.
Okay, fair enough. Who was your 12?
My 12 was the Saints. They haven't been good. They haven't been bad. They had a bye week this week. We'll see how they do this coming week.
We're going to have an interesting top 10 conversation then.
We have a very interesting top 10 conversation coming up. All right, number 10. Who is your number 10?
Rams.
The Rams? Okay,
Yeah.
I have the Bears. The Bears have entered the chat. I think the Bears are a real team. They've kind of been like the most fluctuated team looking back at my other lists. One point I had the Bears at 17. I had the Bears at 17 2 weeks in a row. And then I had the Bears at 13. And now they're up at 10. They just keep climbing. The Bears are a team people need to watch out for. They're a silent killer. Nick Foles loves himself some Christian rap, loves himself some country. But if you throw on Meek Mill in that locker room, he gets those Philly flashbacks. And I don't think you want Nick Foles when he's got the Philly flashbacks. Somebody just needs to, in his headset, always be pumping Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill. Just on the field. Nick Foles should have a nonstop feed of Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill. And they'll never lose a game.
Fantastic song. You remember last year when the Eagles beat the Cowboys and I sent you just me singing the full song?
Yeah, I do remember that.
It was fantastic.
I do remember that. It was fantastic.
Pretty
It's
sure
a great song.
Pretty sure I saw you the next day.
Dreams and Nightmares is a great song. Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was okay. Number 9 for you.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ooh. Okay.
Defense.
Okay.
Their defense needs to play more consistent for me to consider them.
What?
They've had 2 good games. Okay, they've had 2 good defensive games. The rest of the games they've given up 30 points to the Chargers, lost to the Bears.
Okay, that Bears game was a fluke. But the Bears are also real.
They've had more bad defensive games than they've had good.
But their offense has been really clicking. They've really been clicking. Tom Brady looks good. Tom Brady looks really good. My number 9 team is the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, okay.
I think they're good enough to be where they're at right now, but, and this is a huge but, they're very dependent on whether or not DeAndre Hopkins performs well. I think if DeAndre Hopkins has a bad game, they have a pretty bad game. DeAndre Hopkins played very well last night. He was there when they needed him. I say that a lot, but he was there when they needed him. Christian Kirk has also been playing really well. Expect the Cardinals to keep climbing if they keep playing as well as they have been. Your number 18.
My number 18 is the New Orleans Saints.
Mine, and this might shock a lot of NFL people, because everybody has them in their top 5 for some reason, is the Ravens.
I knew you were gonna say that.
The Ravens aren't as good as people say they are.
They're not. They're really not.
They haven't looked fantastic. Like, they look nothing like that. Last year, like, they struck big fear into me. Like, they were a dominant football team, and I'm not afraid to say that because being in the AFC North, I've seen the Ravens at their best, and the Ravens can play good football when they're being coached well, when their offense is clicking, when their defense is clicking. Their defense has not been clicking. Their defense has the Earl Thomas like syndrome where they see their brother and they get all horny and then they just go crazy and then they completely forget to play football. And Lamar Jackson just hasn't been playing Lamar Jackson football, which I don't even know if that's a thing right now. But the Ravens are not as good as people say they are. That's why they're number 8.
Okay, number 7, I have the Bills.
The Bills, I have the Rams at number 7, even though they lost this week.
I mean,
I still think the Rams are a very good football team. I think that they've been playing. Their defense is clicking very well. Their offense had an off week this week, but I still think their defense plays very well.
Wait, where did you have Miami?
I had Miami at 16.
Okay, so we both have Miami at 16.
They are the perfectly average team.
Yeah, that's how, I'm okay with that.
They are perfectly and rightfully average.
I'm okay with that. Just right smack dab in the middle.
Right in the middle. Zach, your number 6.
The Green Bay Packers.
That is also my number 6. I'm glad we agree there. They dropped last week. I had them at my number 1. They dropped significantly after how Aaron Rodgers did the 3 pumps in the end zone and then didn't do anything the rest of the game. This highlight of the whole entire game was doing 3 air humps in the end zone to mimic that Key and Peele speech or the Key and Peele skit, and then he never did a thing after that. And it just, their defense did not look great. Zach, do you have any words on how that game went down?
No, I didn't really get to watch it very much, but all I know is that the Packers were up 10-0. The Buccaneers ran one offensive play and they were up 14-0.
Yeah, so, the Packers were up 10-0. Aaron Rodgers humped the air and then they were down 14-0. Quick as that.
14-10, yeah. Going into my top 5. Do you want me to just list them all off, or?
No. We're gonna go one by one still. One by one.
All right. My 5 is the Ravens, pretty much for the same reason as you. I mean, I just think they look slightly better than the Packers and the Bills. That's why I have them at 5, but nothing really exciting.
That's where I have the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers jumped up significantly on my list. Last week I had the Buccaneers at 14, and now I have them at 5. They played extremely well.
It's a little high for me, but
they played extremely well. Gronk is Gronk again. He did a spike. He's about to go like 50 touchdowns on the season now. He finally got to spike the ball.
Number 4, I have the Steelers.
Number 4, I have the Tennessee Titans. Yeah.
Samuel.
It's gonna get slightly biased as we get higher up. But
if you have them any higher than 3, we're gonna have a problem.
Should I talk about the Titans or should I jump to my number 3?
I'm going just go to number 3 because my number 3 is the Titans.
My number 3 is the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh my Lord.
My number 3 is the Seattle Seahawks.
Do you smell that?
Don't say it. I don't smell anything.
You don't smell the bias in the air?
I don't smell the bias.
I
smell.
I can smell it from your room in Cincinnati.
I smell the number 2 ranked team, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Just caps. Cap everywhere.
I smell the second best team in the National Football League.
Well, that would be the Kansas City Chiefs.
So you have the Seahawks at 1, Chiefs at 2, Titans at 3, Steelers at 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have the same top four. Let's start off with that. We believe that the top 4 teams in the league are in no particular order: the Titans, the Seahawks, the Steelers, and the Chiefs. Even though that is my order, for you, that's not that order. But we believe those are the 4 teams that are going to be, and 3 of those teams are AFC teams, which shows you how stacked the AFC is. So let me talk about the Titans real quick. Obviously, this week is a huge matchup. The Steelers and the Titans. It's probably going to be the best game of the week this week. If the Steelers, I think the thing with the Steelers is their defense is better than the Titans' defense, and I don't think their offense is better than the Titans' offense. I don't think so, but I think the Steelers' defense is better than the Titans' offense, but I don't think the Titans' offense is, or I don't think the Titans' defense is better than our offense.
I personally do.
You think their defense is better than our offense?
I mean, yeah.
Jadeveon Clowney is obviously somebody you got to worry about.
Like, for me personally, you're not going to like to hear this, but they're both just average.
They're our defense and their our offense and their defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a matter of you.
Our offense has definitely proven they're above average, but they're not like great. They're definitely above average.
I wouldn't call
but they're not great.
Average if we're looking at
if we're looking at a tier system, you have the elite offenses, you have the great offenses, you have the above average offense, you have the average, you have the and you have the poo-poo. We are very much above average. Okay, I don't think we're great. I don't think we're elite.
When you do 12 categories.
That was not 12 categories. That was evenly spaced out with a middle team.
It's like 6. There's like 4. There's like usually like 4, maybe 5. It's usually elite, great, average, would be called, and then just shit. So I would put you guys in like the middle for offense.
Our defense is the best in the league, though, and we're the best at run stopping. So I think it really will be the number 1 running back versus the number 1 run stopping defense. Who's going to win that battle? And I think Ryan Tannehill has been very good.
Can we
agree? Very, very good.
Can we agree that Derrick Henry's the best running back in the league right now?
Yeah, Derrick Henry's the best running back in the league right now.
You know who sucks right now? Like, I just didn't get a chance to throw this out there.
Who what?
Who sucks right now?
Who?
I have like 2 people in particular.
Who?
First one, Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh yeah, Zeke's been poo-poo.
It was pitiful.
He's been big poo-poo.
And then number 2, I didn't get a chance to talk about this, but Juju Smith-Schuster.
Say his full name.
Has been garbage.
No, he has not. He has been playing his role, which is a slot receiver.
He's supposed to be the number 1 guy.
Yes, he's supposed to be the number 1 guy. But when you've got 3 guys, probably 4 guys. Zach, listen to me. Listen to me. Zach, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
No,
now.
I want you to use the same energy that you kept about Juju last year.
No.
He didn't play 2 games. He didn't play 2 games.
Shut
He
up.
was hurt for 2 games. That's why his numbers are down.
Shut up. Listen to me.
Okay, Joe Biden.
When you've got a player like Chase Claypool, I didn't even see this coming. I was just blindsided by this. You go, there's 2 players I want to talk about that were bad. Ezekiel Elliott, and I would think you're going to throw out some other name. Like, I don't know. Just some other person. You come at me saying Juju, my son. Don't ever come at me and tell that Juju is bad. Juju has been playing his part. We have 2 very good, probably number 1 wide receivers. Who? That could be number 1. Chase Claypool has been playing like a number 1 wide receiver. And don't you tell me he hasn't been.
Games.
He's been progressively getting better, and he has proven that if you don't cover him or you don't give him the attention he deserves, he will burn your ass. And Juju, you can say the same thing about Juju. If you don't give him the attention you could deserve, he will burn your ass. We have
breaking
two
news.
people that teams need to worry about. Most teams don't have two very good wide receivers. They've got their star and they've got a bunch of average wide receivers. We've got a star and an emerging star. Don't ever come at me and say that Juju has been bad. Don't you dare, Zachary Edward. Don't you dare.
Has not done anything to prove that he's a star wide receiver.
This is why we've added this new segment at the end of the show that we're going to get into in a minute, because it's really to just diffuse the tension because of outrageous statements like this. Outrageous statements. I cannot believe you blindsided me like that.
Okay, do you just want to like hear some of like Juju's numbers through the first
Zach,
5 games?
The numbers, listen to me. The numbers don't show the whole picture.
This is your star.
Zach, did you watch the game Sunday? No. You didn't watch the game Sunday, honey. Honey, listen, boy. You didn't watch the game. You didn't get to see.
Can I talk?
Denzel Ward was on Juju all game, so Chase Claypool could break free.
Wait, I didn't get to see Juju's 2 catches for 6 yards.
Zachary,
can I talk? 2020 season stats through 5 games. Okay. 23 receptions, tied 40th in the league. 194 yards, tied 85th. 3 touchdowns, tied 14th. With an average of 8.4 yards.
Zach, what do you need to do in a football game to win a game? What do you need to do in a football game to win a game?
19. I'm not talking about a team. I'm talking about the specific player.
Zach, what is my team's record right now? Tell me what the Steelers' record is right now.
5-0.
That means we've been playing as a team and collectively winning games.
You are deflecting.
I am not deflecting. Zach, I am proving to you that I am proving to you. No. You're saying Juju is bad. They play as a team. Juju,
he's not a star, is what I'm saying.
See, here's the thing, though. Juju's not like bitch boy Antonio Brown that cries when he doesn't get the ball. Juju, that's why I love this team so much, specifically this year. Our locker room has never been tighter. Juju, Claypool, Deontay Johnson, James Washington, our whole wide receiver room is phenomenal. People are like, oh, Steelers have a bunch of bums at wide receivers, bunch of no-names, bunch of young guys. We have probably a top 10 receiving core.
Okay.
Top 10 receiving core. Just because we have so many options to go to, so many kids that are dangerous right now. And I say kids because these kids are smoking some of these veteran DBs right now. Chase Claypool, smoking. Juju, smoking. 3 touchdowns. Claypool, 5 touchdowns on the season. Don't come at me sideways again like that while we're doing our rankings. If you want to come at me about Juju again, talk about it when I talk about the Steelers. Don't come at me sideways like that, or I'll shut you down.
You didn't.
No. When I was doing my segment on the Steelers, wow, I was just so. Guys, I'm sorry. I was yelling there. I was just so hurt by the statement.
I just want you to know that you did nothing to like shut me down.
I'm just telling you. While he's not our number 1 in receptions, number 1 in touchdowns, number 1 in receiving yards, he's number 1 in my heart. And he is number 1 in that locker room right now as a leader for these young guys. Okay. So don't even ever blindside me like that again. Don't ever do that again.
Tell me when or you can call me when being a leader gets you in the Hall of Fame.
Hey, freezing cold takes. When Juju gets like 3 touchdowns and like 100 yards this weekend against the Titans, will you quote what Zach said about Juju being a bad wide receiver? Just putting that out there. When he plays amazing against the Titans because they're going to start locking down Chase Claypool, just watch. That's just something to watch for this weekend. Do we want to keep talking about our power rankings anymore, or do we want to go into our fun little segment?
Well, we still have the picks.
Oh yeah, we do have picks.
We'll move through the picks a little bit. Like, just quick. I mean, we'll go. We don't have to spend too much time talking about them.
All right, yeah. We don't have to get into the specifics on the picks. We just have to make the picks. Last week Zach and I tied again.
I'm currently $20
He's up $20. He's up $20.
And I think this next week is another like $15.
It's a $15 week. So yeah.
So it could be big for you, or it could be big for me.
We have a poo-poo Thursday night game, an NFC East matchup.
Okay.
The Giants and the Eagles.
I'm just gonna take the Eagles. I don't even know who's on their team anymore besides Carson Wentz.
Yeah, it really just is Carson Wentz, but I still think the Eagles beat the Giants.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions versus the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta.
I'm taking the new and improved Dan Quinn-less Atlanta Falcons.
I'm not. I'm taking the Lions.
Okay.
I'm taking the much better Kenny Galladay, Matt Stafford, the Lions. The Cincinnati Bengals playing at home against the Cleveland Browns.
I mean, I don't think the Browns lose to the Bengals. I really don't.
I do.
Okay.
I think Joe Burrow plays much better than he did. I don't know if Baker Mayfield's playing yet. I mean, honestly, that might make them better at this point because Baker Mayfield's kind of poo-poo. But I don't know who's going to be active for the Browns. But I think the Bengals find a way to win this one. The Steelers at the Titans. Zach, I know you're going to pick against my boys just because you came at us sideways like that.
I am taking the reigning rushing king, RT17.
Huh?
Ryan Tannehill.
He was not the rushing king.
It was like rushing king, comma, RT17.
I was like, Ryan Tannehill was not the rushing leader.
RT17.
Yeah, let's not prolong
Mr.
this.
Healthy AJ Brown.
Yeah, okay, dog.
An emerging coaching superstar in Mike Vrabel.
Well, Mike Vrabel, I'm not going to discredit Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is a fucking great coach. I love Mike Vrabel. I'm
taking Tennessee Titans.
You say all that, then you take the Steelers.
Nashville, get ready to be 6-0.
All right.
Your time is now.
See, our time has always been, so I'm taking the Steelers. But it easily could be the Titans winning this one. I think that if I were to pick a game that we were going to lose either this week against the Titans or next week against the Ravens, it's probably going to be this week against the Titans. But I don't think we're going to get exposed in a way that would make us look awful. I just think it'll be like a good loss if we lose. But I am going to pick the Steelers because I think we'll win. But it definitely could be a game that we lose. I'm kind of covering my ass there, but I am picking the Steelers. Carolina at New Orleans.
I'm going to take the Saints.
You're taking the Saints?
Yeah.
I'm taking the Saints as well.
Okay.
I'm just going to write down the Bills for you on this next one.
Yeah. We don't even need to talk about it. We don't mention them.
We're not going to say the name, but y'all know who they're playing. I'm just writing down the Bills and we're moving on. Another awful NFC East matchup, the Cowboys at the football team.
You know what? I'm taking the football team.
You shouldn't, but okay.
I'm taking them.
I am taking the Cowboys. The Packers at the Texans.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers loses 2 weeks in a row. I'm going to take the Packers.
I don't think so either. Seattle at Arizona.
Ooh. Coming off the bye week.
The Battle of the Birds.
Coming off the bye week, I think it's the Seahawks.
See, I got the Cardinals on this one.
Okay.
I got the Cardinals this week. I think their offense is much better than Seattle's defense.
Fair enough. Hey, with no Dolphins on, what game I'm going to be watching? Steelers Titans.
You will be watching Steelers Titans.
All eyes. I've also got. I'm in a little bit of a predicament. I've got Derrick Henry as a rusher and the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. I don't know who I'm gonna be rooting for.
You'll be rooting for the Steelers because we had an agreement that you would always root for my team unless they were playing your team, motherfucker.
Yeah, but like the Titans have become like my team now.
No,
Like my
contending
team.
Don't do this to me.
My contending team.
The Dolphins are a contending team. You cannot say that. The Dolphins are a contending team. Stop that.
A Super Bowl contending team.
I hate you. The Chiefs at the Broncos.
Chiefs.
Agreed. The 49ers at the Patriots.
Ooh.
That'll be a very average game. A battle of the average. Jimmy G's first time back in New England, I think.
If the 49ers play the way they do against the Rams, then I think I'm going to take the 49ers.
49ers? I'm taking the Patriots. I don't think they play as bad as they did last week. I think they had a down week because they didn't get to practice. But I think they have a much better week this week.
You know who doesn't need practice? The Titans.
They did practice all week.
They didn't. For the Bills, no, they did not. And they hung
for the Bills, they didn't.
And they hung 40 on them.
The Bills are bad.
The Bills were the second best defense.
The Bills are bad.
The Bills were the second best defense going
at the beginning of the season.
Going into that week, they were the second best defense in the league.
Yeah, whatever, dog. Jacksonville at the Chargers. Yeah. Jacksonville at the Chargers.
I'm in your head. Chargers.
Yeah. I don't know why they haven't flexed the Steelers-Titans game to Sunday night. Tampa Bay at Las Vegas for the Sunday night game. Steelers-Titans should be Sunday night. Come on, NFL.
What is the Sunday night game?
Tampa Bay at Las Vegas.
Ew. I really want to take the Raiders, actually.
I know you do.
I'm going to take the Raiders.
I'm not. We have so many different picks this week. We have a lot of different picks.
I mean, that's good. Maybe we won't fucking tie.
There's physically no way we could tie. I really don't think there is.
You did the math?
Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3.
Wait. Give me the Monday night game and then you count. Give me the Monday night game and then you count.
6, 7. We're gonna have 8 different ones. Because I don't think you're picking the same one as me for the Monday night. Bears at Rams.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams.
I'm taking the Bears.
So we have 8 different games. So there is technically a way that we can tie.
I mean, yeah, I guess we could both go 4. Well,
if we go 4-4 in those games, like each, then we tie.
Yeah. Yep. Fuck.
So guys, let us know. Do you like seeing these ties, or do you want to like? A clear
do you want us to just pick a clear winner somehow?
Like at the rate this is going, like Sam could potentially owe me like $100 at the end of the year.
I could. Probably won't because I'll probably get better as the season goes on. But
hopefully, like I like when it's close. I mean, I think I won like $15 last year from you guys, like you and Jim. But like,
yeah. All right, everybody. So instead of ending the show right now after our picks, we've decided to add more, and this is going to be where you guys kind of come in. We're going to do just some top fives of anything. It could be top 5 foods. It could be top 5 favorite bathrooms. It could be top 5 scents of laundry detergent, whatever you guys want. Leave in the comments below of our videos, of our podcast, what you would like next week's top 5s to be, and we'll choose one from the comments. This week, to start off, we're going to keep it in sports, kind of. We're going to do top 5 sports movies. Top 5 sports movies. And for the most part, y'all have probably seen most of the movies on these lists. I know there's one on Zach's list I haven't seen. But I'm just going to get into it with my number 5 is Rocky. I think Rocky is the best of the Rocky / Creed universe. I think Creed is right after Rocky. And out of all those movies, Creed is probably the second best movie out of those. But Rocky is one of the classics.
Well, there's only one right answer as to which Rocky is the best.
Rocky 1.
No.
Rocky, the original Rocky.
Rocky 4.
Rocky 4 is not the best for Rocky.
Rocky 4 is a good one.
Rocky 1 is the best Rocky.
My number 5 is We Are Marshall.
We're Marshall's a very heartwarming movie, dude. Very sad movie.
I'm a heartwarming. I like the heartwarming sports movies, and you'll see that pretty much with my list.
I've got 2 heartwarming movies on here.
But yeah, We Are Marshall at number 5. Going into number 4, it's the movie that you have not seen, Glory Road.
You just watched that for the first time recently, didn't you?
During quarantine, yeah.
During quarantine.
But
explain it to the people.
About
for those who haven't seen.
The Texas Western team, where they had 7 African American players. I think the first time in NCAA history, maybe, where they had that many, and it was the first time that they had 3 in their starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And in the national championship game against Kentucky, famous Adolph Rupp, they started 5 African American players and only played the African American players.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Yeah. This is all based off of a true story, I'm assuming.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah, that's awesome. You said it's on Disney Plus.
Disney
for
Plus,
those who want to go watch it. I would definitely be giving that a watch. That sounds really good. I love those true story sports movies. True story sports movies are. I only have, I guess, 2 on here that aren't true story. My next one is a true story. It's The Blind Side.
Great movie, fantastic.
The Blind Side is probably one of the more underrated football movies, mainly because it's more of a biography on Michael Orr's life than actually like a football movie. But I assume most people have seen The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock playing. I can't remember her name. But yeah, Blind Side. I remember going to see it in the theaters and it being a very touching movie to see a kid come off the streets. He was homeless and in a very bad situation and being put off by a very loving family who's taking care of him, who was able to set him up on the path for success to lead him to the NFL. It was a very, very good performance by Sandra Bullock. Very heartwarming movie and a movie that is very near and dear to my heart. Another movie that I just absolutely love, and I think this tops Zach's list, so if he wants to talk about it here, he can. Remember the Titans.
Just phenomenal movie. Doesn't get much better than that.
I think 2 movies do. But Remember the Titans is definitely the best football movie I think ever. And I don't even think it's close.
I feel like my number 3 is your number 2. I feel like we have the same top 3.
Same top 3?
Yeah, I think my number 3 is what your number 2 is.
What's your number 3?
Coach Carter.
It is not.
Coach
Carter did not crack my top 5.
Wow.
Coach Carter's probably just outside my top 5.
I was going to say, after we announce our number 2s, we can do an honorable mention.
Yeah, yeah, Coach Carter. I mean, okay, my number 2 is Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore is just, it's not like a great sports movie, but it's about golf.
It's a funny movie.
And it's hilarious. It is by far Adam Sandler's, other than Uncut Gems, which is a completely different Adam Sandler role. I think it's Adam Sandler's best character. Happy Gilmore is so funny. Yeah. It is outrageously funny. Shooter McGavin.
You did say outside Uncut Gems, correct?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Uncut Gems is like top tier. Like Adam Sandler would never get better than Uncut Gems.
No, yeah.
Uncut Gems is one of my favorite. It was my favorite movie last year and one of my favorite movies of all time. It is tremendous.
Great performance.
But this isn't about Uncut Gems, it's about Happy Gilmore. But going back to Coach Carter real quick, the reason I don't have Coach Carter, Coach Carter is probably one of the better basketball movies. Hoosiers is definitely up there.
Yeah.
But the one scene from Coach Carter that I love is when they make him do the sprints.
Yeah.
And the whole team starts doing the sprints.
Yeah.
That's one of the probably Samuel Jackson's top 2 or 3 roles. And I think it's very, very overlooked.
He was good in there.
Yeah.
Going into my number 2, it's Moneyball. Just actually watched it last night.
Because I made him watch it.
It's a great movie. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I just could not put it over my number 1, which was Remember the Titans.
Do you have anything to add about Remember the Titans? Maybe reasons why it's your number 1?
Just the fact that just everything.
Denzel Washington, that movie is amazing.
There's not much. That movie ended racism for a little bit.
It really, it wasn't just a movie. It's a true story.
Yeah, I know.
The whole story behind it is phenomenal, and I'm pretty sure the coach, his name is skipping my mind right now. He passed away a couple years ago.
I know the assistant was Coach Yost. What was his name?
Herman Boone.
Yes, Boone.
Herman Boone. He died last year, December 18th, 2019.
Rest in peace.
He passed away, last year, sadly.
To a great man.
But as Zach mentioned at his number 2, my number 1, and easily, and this is probably a little biased for me, just because I love numbers and everything, and just the statistics and everything behind sports, it's Moneyball. When I first watched Moneyball with my dad, I think it was around the time it came out, which I think was 2011, 2012.
Yeah, it's a decently old movie.
It was 2011. It was around the time where the Reds were playing really well. They were actually making the playoffs, still losing in the first round, but they were making the playoffs. They were playing. They had the Jay Bruce team where Jay Bruce hit that walk off to put them into the postseason. It's just, I love this movie as a baseball movie. I love it as a statistics movie. I love it kind of showing the behind the scenes of what happens in a baseball organization. It's a true story. Another one of those real life movies. Billy Beane, I think, is at one point he was the general manager for the Browns. But a fantastic performance by Brad Pitt. Fantastic performance by a fat Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill was so good in that movie. He's so good. Like both him and Brad Pitt. I think it's personally, and this is just me, I think it's Brad Pitt's best role. I think it's the best performance he's ever had in a leading role.
It could be.
In a supporting role, it definitely is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But in a leading role, I think Moneyball is the best Brad Pitt has ever been. And looking at it from a movie standpoint, from a sports standpoint, I 100% think Moneyball is the best sports movie. Any closing remarks, Zach?
I'm excited for the Steelers Titans game. I really am.
It's gonna be a good one.
Really am. I guess the only thing I have to close with is thank you all for listening. I'm excited to see your comments on what we should do next week, and tighten up.
See, I'm not gonna let you just end it there, dog. I knew it was coming, so I can't let it end there. But actually, next week we're gonna be having probably a majority of the episode dedicated to college football, since a majority of the teams are gonna be playing again. We're gonna have Emilio back next week. He's gonna be talking a lot about Ohio State, the Big Ten, implications for kind of what we saw this week from Ohio State, and then how the things are going to look down the road. We're going to talk a little bit about the Steelers and the Titans and how that game went. But yeah, like Zach said, really hoping to see what you guys come up with for top 10 lists or top 5 lists. Also, drop your top 5 sports movies in the comments below. Let us know if you agree with our lists. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you for listening. Go Steelers. Good luck to the Titans. Zach here will end with this. It's Tua time.
It's Tua time.
All right. Thank you, everybody.